Don't wish it was easier. Wish you were better. There's a little phrase I came across years ago, and it changed the trajectory of my life. It was this: don't wish it was easier. Wish you were better. And let me tell you, that one sentence taught me more about life, success, and personal responsibility than 4 years of formal education ever did. You see, the moment you wish for ease, you avoid growth. And the moment you wish for growth, you stop needing things to be easy. That's a shift. That's a new way of thinking. Let me take you back. I was 25 years old, broke, behind on my promises, empty fridge, empty wallet, and an empty future. I was blaming everything, blaming taxes, blaming the economy, blaming my job, blaming the government. Until one day I met a man who would become my mentor. His name was Mr. Schoaf. He listened to my excuses for a while, and then looked me in the eye and said something that burned into my mind. Mr. Rohn, your life doesn't get better by chance. It gets better by change. That hit me like a truck. It wasn't the world that needed to change. It was me. Now listen carefully. Your problems are not the problem. Your thinking is. Most people say, if only my boss were better. If only the pay was higher. If only the government cared. If only my family understood. Let me tell you something, that line of thinking will leave you poor, frustrated, and bitter. Here's a better thought. What must I become to rise above this? That, my friend, is a powerful question. When you change that one question, you stop being a victim of your circumstances, and you start becoming the author of your destiny. Success is something you attract by the person you become. Let me repeat that. Success is not something you chase. It's not hiding. It's not avoiding you. It's waiting for you to become the kind of person that deserves it. I want you to think about this. Wherever you are in life right now, whatever income level, whatever your relationships look like, whatever shape your health is in, it is not a result of the weather, or politics, or your parents, or your education. It is a result of how you've been thinking. That's hard to hear for some, but let me remind you, it's not bad news. It's good news. Because if your thinking got you here, better thinking can take you somewhere new. Let me give you an example. Say someone has a job that pays just enough to survive. They say, I wish the company would pay more. But a better way to think is, what new skills can I learn that would make me more valuable? You don't get paid for time. You get paid for value. Time is equal for all of us. We all get 24 hours. But what you do with your time, that's the game changer. Learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Because when you do, you become the kind of person who doesn't have to wish for a raise. You earn it. Or better yet, you create it. Be careful of the victim mindset. It sounds like this: it's not my fault. They didn't treat me right. No one helped me. Life's not fair. Let me share a truth with you. Life isn't fair, but that's not a reason to quit. That's a reason to get better. Because the world doesn't give handouts. It rewards value. It honors discipline. It celebrates excellence. And you don't become excellent by wishing for ease. You become excellent by growing through difficulty. From this moment on, I challenge you, stop waiting for the world to adjust to you and start adjusting yourself to the world. Don't say, I hope it gets easier. Say, I will get stronger, smarter, more valuable, more disciplined. Because when you change, everything changes for you. You cannot change the circumstances, the seasons, or the wind, but you can change yourself. That is something you have charge of. And that is the beginning of a new life. Not easier, but better. We must all suffer one of two things: the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Let's talk about the price of growth. Because let me tell you something straight. Nothing great is free. There's a price tag on every dream. You want to be stronger. There's a price. You want to be wealthier. There's a price. You want to lead, inspire, create, build. There's always a price. And here's the truth most people don't want to hear: you pay up front. You don't get growth on credit. You don't achieve success with a coupon. You earn it. with time, sweat, sacrifice, and discipline. People say to me, Jim, this is hard. Yes, it's hard, but that's what makes it worth it. If you want the harvest in the fall, you must plant in the spring. And planting is work. Pulling weeds is work. Watering the soil is work. But if you do it right, come harvest time, you'll be glad you paid the price. Let me take you back once again. I remember being 25 years old with $2 in my pocket. Not even enough to buy Girl Scout cookies. A little girl came to my door, smiling, full of courage, and said, Mister, would you like to buy some cookies? I didn't have the heart to tell her I was broke. So I lied. I said, thank you, but I've already bought some. She smiled, turned around, and walked away. And I closed the door, and I cried. Not because of the cookies, but because I couldn't spare a few dollars for a child's effort. That was the moment I told myself, never again. Never again would I let excuses rob me. Never again would I wish it was easier. I would get better. I would pay the price. Now remember this. Win must all suffer one of two things, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. You don't get to avoid pain, but you do get to choose which one. Discipline weighs ounces. It's getting up early. It's staying late. It's reading when others scroll. It's investing when others spend. But regret weighs tons. It shows up when it's too late. It shows up when the opportunity is gone. When the body is too weak. When the time has passed. And it whispers, you could have been so much more. Now I've asked myself many times, why don't more people choose growth? Why do so many settle? And the answer is simply it's uncomfortable. You see, comfort is seductive. It tells you, stay where it's warm. Don't risk it. What if you fail? Just do what's easy. But let me tell you something powerful. Easy won't pay well. Easy won't build character. Easy won't make you proud. A growth demands difficulty. It demands effort. It demands resistance. Just like muscles grow by lifting something heavy, so does your character. But here's the beauty in all of this growth is not just about what you get. It's about who you become. See, when you choose discipline over regret, when you pay the price for growth, you begin to walk taller. You start to trust yourself. You build something called self-respect. And that's a reward no paycheck can buy. So if today you're staring at a goal that feels far off, if the mountain looks high, if the journey looks long, don't wish it was easier. Instead ask, what will it take of me? Who must I become to earn it? Because that's the right price. And once you pay it, you'll find the view from the top is worth every step. For things to change, you have to change. For things to get better, you have to get better. Not someday. Not when it's easy. But today, let's talk about one of the most powerful words in the success vocabulary. Discipline. Discipline isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. One choice at a time. One day at a time. Here's what I've found in my life and in mentoring thousands. Everybody wants success, but not everyone wants the price tag. See, it's easy to dream. It's easy to talk. It's easy to wish. But dreams without discipline, that's just fantasy. Affirmation without discipline is the beginning of delusion. You can repeat all the positive words in the mirror. You can visualize, meditate, make vision boards. But if you won't do the work, nothing changes. Discipline doesn't just show up once in a while. It's not what you do when you feel good. It's what you do when you don't feel like it. Waking up on time, reading the book, making the call, skipping the junk, finishing what you start. Those aren't huge actions. But when done daily, they build an extraordinary life. And let me tell you something. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. That's it. Not miracles. Not magic. Just consistency. Let me warn you, neglect has a cost. Neglect your health and the doctor gets involved. Neglect your finances and debt piles up. Neglect your mind and ignorance becomes a habit. It's not overnight. It's not all at once. It's slow. So slow you don't notice until it's too late. But here's the hope. Just like neglect destroys, Discipline restores. Every act of discipline is like planting a seed. You don't see it grow instantly, but in time it turns into a harvest. I'll tell you something personal. When I met my mentor, Earl Schoaf, he looked me in the eye and said, "Jim, if you want things to change, you have to change." I was 25, broke, complaining, blaming circumstances, wishing for easier days. He said, "You don't need an easier life. You need stronger habits. You don't need less problems. You need more discipline." That hit me like a thunderbolt. And that day, I made a decision. I would become a man of discipline. People ask me, "Jim, where do I begin?" Begin with the little disciplines. Wake up 30 minutes earlier. Read 10 pages a day. Track your spending. Call your parents. Work out even when you don't feel like it. Because here's the truth. All disciplines affect each other. When you get better in one area, it spills into the next. Discipline creates momentum, and momentum creates transformation. Now, don't think discipline is easy. It's not. There's a battle happening every morning between the voice that says, "Sleep in," and the voice that says, "Get up and grow." Between the voice that says, "You've done enough," and the one that says, "You've still got more in you." And here's what I've learned. The more you listen to the right voice, the stronger it becomes. Discipline is like a muscle. You train it, you strengthen it, and one day it becomes second nature. So today, if you feel behind, if you feel stuck, if you feel like you've wasted time, good news, you can begin again. Right now, choose discipline. Choose to do what others won't, because if you do what's hard, your life will be easy. But if you do what's easy, your life will be hard. Discipline weighs ounces. Regret weighs tons. Choose the lighter weight. Start today. Build that bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Success is something you attract by the person you become. And now let's go a little deeper. You see, most people are out there chasing things, chasing money, chasing status, chasing recognition. But here's the truth. You don't chase success. You attract it. And you attract it by becoming someone worthy of it. That's the real question, isn't it? Not, what do I want? But, who am I becoming? Because here's the secret. If you become more valuable, you attract more value. If you become wiser, life gives you more opportunities. If you become stronger, you can carry bigger responsibilities. So the goal isn't just to get more. It's to become more. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Why? Because you are the project. You are the foundation. Everything good in your life grows from you. Let me give you a formula I've taught for years. Income rarely exceeds personal development. Let that sink in. Want to double your income, double your value, want better relationships, become a better communicator. Want more influence, grow your character. See, the outer world is a reflection of your inner world. If your life isn't changing, it's not because the world is unfair. It's because you haven't changed. For things to change, you have to change. That quote has been with me for decades. The day I took responsibility, that was the day my life began to transform. Here's a mistake many make. They wait. They wait for the right time. They wait for motivation. They wait for someone to push them. But the clock is ticking, and time waits for no one. You don't become the right person by accident. You become the right person by intention. So ask yourself, what books are you reading? What habits are you practicing? Who are you surrounding yourself with? Because those choices shape your future. Life has lessons. But you've got to be a student. If someone's successful, don't envy them, learn from them. If something doesn't work, don't curse it, study it. Don't just go through life, grow through life. Every experience is a teacher. But only if you're paying attention. Don't join an easy crowd. You won't grow. That's why you've got to challenge yourself. Step out of your comfort zone. Stretch, struggle, learn, adapt. Because growth doesn't come from comfort. Growth comes from resistance. Just like muscles need tension to grow, your mind, your character, your skills need challenge. Let me tell you something that changed my life. I was frustrated one day. My business wasn't working. My income was flat. My relationships were tense. And I sat down with my mentor and said, "Why won't anything change?" He looked me in the eye and said, "Jim, when you get better, everything gets better." That's when I learned about the mirror test. Don't look out the window to blame. Look in the mirror to grow. It's not about what happens. It's about who you are when it happens. If you want the outside to change, work on the inside. Work on your mindset, your discipline, your courage, your confidence, your kindness, your consistency. Because becoming the right person isn't just about what you get. It's about who you become in the process. The person you become is your true reward. Success is not to be pursued. It is to be attracted by the person you become. So let me ask you, friend, not what do you want to have, but who do you want to become? And are you working on it? Every day you waste is a day you could have grown. But every day you decide to read, to practice, to learn, to reflect, you're one step closer to the life you were meant to live. You're not here to stay the same. You're here to evolve. So don't wish for it to be easier. Get better. And as you get better, so does everything around you. You don't get paid for the hour. You get paid for the value you bring to the hour. As we close out this journey, let's talk about the rewards. Because every decision you make, every effort you put in, every ounce of discipline you exercise, it leads somewhere. And where does it lead? To the rewards of becoming better. It's one of the great laws of life. Progress is the most satisfying feeling you'll ever experience. When you know you're growing, you feel alive. When you see yourself becoming better, you have a sense of fulfillment. But it doesn't happen overnight. It's not instant. It's not easy. But it is worth it. Let me tell you, this success isn't something you chase. It's something you attract by becoming the person you need to be. When you focus on becoming better, success follows. But here's where it gets interesting. You can't have a better tomorrow if you're thinking about yesterday all the time. So let's stop looking backward. Let's stop worrying about what didn't work, what we missed, what we lost. The key is what's next. Now I know the journey is long, but don't be discouraged by the distance. You see, success isn't built by one giant leap. It's built by small wins. Every day, every step, every small victory that no one else sees. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. And one day, you look back and realize you've built something extraordinary. Those small wins add up. They compound. The best reward. That feeling of knowing you are becoming the best version of yourself. When you decide to get better, you don't just get better at what you do. You get better at life. You get the freedom to choose your path. You get the freedom to take risks. You get the freedom to live life on your terms. That's what personal development gives you. The ability to rise above your circumstances. The ability to create the life you've always dreamed of. And let me tell you, it's not just about freedom in the material sense. It's the freedom that comes from within. It's the freedom of being in control. It's the freedom of knowing that your destiny is in your hands. The rewards of getting better are often hidden from view, but they're real. They're internal. Ask yourself, do you feel more confident? Are you able to make better decisions? Do you have more clarity? Those are the real rewards. Because the most important currency in life isn't money. It's your character. And when you improve your character, you improve everything else. You begin to attract better relationships, better opportunities, better situations. You start walking into rooms knowing that your value precedes you. Don't wish it was easier. Wish you were better. That's the ultimate reward. Becoming someone who is capable of handling whatever life throws at you. Becoming someone who can take on the challenges and still move forward. But there's something even greater than personal success. It's the impact you have on others. See, as you grow, you don't just change your life. You change the lives of those around you. You inspire your family. You motivate your friends. You lead your community. That's what I call the ripple effect. When you get better, the people around you get better. And together, you can create a wave of change. Here's the ultimate reward. When you get better, you leave behind a legacy. Not just wealth, not just accomplishments, but the example you set, the person you become. Because let me tell you, the world remembers who you were, not by what you had, but by who you were. Your children, your friends, your colleagues, they won't remember your possessions. They'll remember the way you treated them. They'll remember the character you displayed. They'll remember how you led by example. And that legacy, that is the reward of a life well lived. So, my friends, the rewards of becoming better are many, but they don't come from wishing. They come from working. They come from making the decision every single day to do what others won't. They come from the consistent effort of getting better, one step at a time. The world will always throw obstacles your way. The world will always tell you it's too hard, but you have the power to make it easier. Because when you get better, everything else becomes easier. So don't wait for the conditions to be perfect. Don't wait for life to be easier. Get better, and the world will respond. You cannot change your destination overnight, but you can change your direction. Choose to get better. Choose to take that first step. And remember, the rewards will be waiting for you. As we close today, remember this: success isn't a destination, it's a journey. And the key to that journey is simple: get better. Every single day, so don't wish for an easier life. Instead, get better. And as you do, you'll see that the world begins to work with you, not against you. Thank you for being here today. Now go out there and make it happen. Take care and keep growing.